Iran's foreign minister has slammed the re-imposition of US sanctions, describing them as an indiscriminate assault on his country. Russia and Turkey have also criticized the sanctions from the Trump administration. For more on this and other news from around the world, let's turn to our Ro Aram. So, Aram, these American sanctions are facing quite the international backlash.
Yes, that's right, Mark. In a YouTube video on Tuesday, Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif said the US punitive measures were, quote, absurd, unlawful and fundamentally flawed. He added that the Trump administration would regret what he called the unwise move. He also claimed the latest round of sanctions, which took effect on Monday, was pushing the US further into global isolation. Earlier, Zarif took to Twitter to mock some of the targets of the sanctions, describing it as a desperate psychological ploy. In that tweet, he wrote that the Trump administration designated a bank that was closed 6 years ago and a ship that sank last year in a widely televised saga. He was, of course, referring to Iran's Tat Bank and the crude oil tanker Sank, which sank after a collision with a freighter off China's east coast. Meanwhile, Turkey and Russia have also blasted the US penalties. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Tuesday that his country will not obey the sanctions, describing Washington's move as violating the global balance. His comments came despite Turkey being included in a waiver list that allows 8 countries to temporarily continue importing Iranian oil without consequences. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov voiced similar sentiment, pledging that Moscow would find ways to circumvent the sanctions and continue financial ties with Tehran.